Goa as a state is known as a tourist spot not only in India but internationally as well, with its idyllic sights, its clean beaches, and for mostly its very welcoming and beautiful people who welcome everybody with open arms. But Goa as a state has seen severe decline over the years, and that's mostly due to the mega projects brought in by the state government and the central government of India without consultations from the locals. In a state where its ecology has been so interspersed and closely linked with its people's livelihoods, the state is very small, it's fragile, it has an ecosystem which is so interlinked with each other. And today, that is the reason that Goa is seeing such a decline and mass destruction. Goa is also known for its grassroots level democracy. The Comunidad system from Goa, which some say is as old as a millennia, has always included the will of the people in every decision that is made about the community. And the Comunidad system, even till today, owns up to 80% of all the land in Goa and also has such sway. But the government over here has completely ignored the voice of the people, the will of the people, in any decision that it is making in the name of governance and development.
हजारांनी वर्षाची 5000 प्लांट स्पीशीज 500 बर्ड व्हरायटीज रावता सगळी सांगातान राखून एकमेकाचे मान म्हणजे तू कामात पडूना दुसरे कोणाचेच काय झोपून घेत तू सुटला तुका सगळेच रे जाय तुका सगळेच रे जाय मनशाक सगळेच रे जाय तुका सगळेच रे जाय मोले मोले मोले
The danger that's happened recently in the last 4 or 5 years is the pressure on land and the massive conversions of fields, forests into settlement land for people who are having their third and fourth homes now. Before it was just second home. Now it's this complete devastation that's taking place. A town planning department and a forest department that don't function at all and let go of, and agriculture that doesn't let go of really good fertile land. So it's this thrust from all sides which is really destroying Goa, and it's important that people step in and say this is not on. We have to look at things long term and not these short term, development issues, and make sure that these assets that we have, these natural heritage assets that we have, are protected and preserved.
Now coming to the, I wouldn't call it politics, but I would call it the democracy.
Yeah.
How do we kind of ensure that we have regimes that are pro-people, that are pro-ecology, and hence pro-livelihoods, and not just with certain interests, whatever may be good. So how does one ensure this, one, and to ensure that what kind of frameworks are required, where can they come from?
Yeah, I think it's, in terms of how do you get people on board, is an important method, because politicians eventually at the end of the day listen to people, and people don't speak out, they will have their own dream schemes, So it's important that people actually have a vision for the future of Goa. And that means education as well. So who do we get on board to actually educate the people? Is it agriculturalists? Is it planners? Is it ecologists? So all these people need to actually provide the basis for what the future of Goa is and how do we take it over there. Because without a vision, the direction of Goa is build more bridges, tar the roads over here and, create infrastructure, which is not really needed. Because I think we need to continuously think long term. So yes, there may be short term interventions, but unless you have a long term plan in it, these short term things do not have much meaning.
Since now the sustainability factor in villages is going down, because people are selling off their lands, or somehow lands are also not viable, labor is expensive, things like that. So this movement or thrust towards increased urbanization, is this a vicious cycle that's feeding back into the loop, or how do you see this whole phenomenon?
So I think the big problem here is aspiration. I mean, and aspirations from an outside force. It's from people moving in from Goa, saying, "Oh, Goa is like Bali," and I'll have these dream. It's a place to recreate from, and it's got that image. I mean, it's one of the safer places in India. I mean, it's safer for women, maybe more than other places in India. It's greener than most other places. So this complete gold rush that's coming into Goa, and unfortunately, the government is not stopping it. I mean, there is no vision for what the policy is to actually curb, say, these second and third homes. There is no vision to how do we provide for the local population. A lot of local population, even though they've had large tracts of land before, they see quick money and selling off their lands, and then eventually that money, whittles away, and they really can't even afford to buy, real estate in Goa anymore. So how do you protect the local population? How do you define what is the carrying capacity of Goa in terms of tourism? What are the ecological sort of impacts that tourism can take in terms of whatever industries? Mining, we realize, is destructive. Fortunately, it's stopped to a large extent. So I think that definition needs to be policy change affected by the government to safeguard Goa in the long term.
In recent times, there has also been a lot of talk about the master plan for Goa. And very funnily enough, the master plan that will decide the future course of action and course of life for the Goans, that entire master plan is being made not in consultation with the Goans nor with the people living here, but with consultation from vested interests, industrialists, people who have a lot of buying power, who come from outside Goa and have no knowledge about the topography, the ecology, the lay of the land, the culture, the way of life of the Goans. They have absolutely no consideration for that. And very interestingly, part of this master plan, we discovered that large tracts of land in Goa have been sold off to people who are very closely connected to the union government and from the ruling party, Bharatiya Janata Party, who are part, along with the chief minister of Goa. They are responsible for investing in large tracts of land, which none of the local people would have the buying power to invest in such huge parcels of land. Now, is this purchase of land, is this purchase and usurpation of resources now going to decide the future course of action for the Goans? And if so, is it fair on the people who live in the state, who belong to the state, who have had generations of associations with this state?